It was a warm summer day, and there was a beautiful, big tree, an oak tree. And I thought, well, I'm going to climb to the top of the tree. So I'm starting to feel the effects. I'm getting waves where the air becomes a liquid. You'd have this distortion field go through the visual landscape. Then the lightning strikes would go, and then all these geometrical fractals would emanate out of the lightning strikes. And pretty soon I had these overlying mosaics of mathematical patterns and geometric figures of multiple colors that were swimming in this field of vision that these waves were flying through. And so I held onto the tree for dear life. And that tree was my pillar back into the core of the earth. And I felt secure as long as I held onto the tree. I said, well, what should I focus on? And I said, well, Stamets, you're not stupid, but you stutter all the time. And so I thought, I need to stop stuttering. And so I said to myself, stop stuttering. Stop stuttering now. A little inner voice in my head. You hear me? Stop stuttering now. And then I started saying that, stop stuttering now, stop stuttering now. Hundreds, thousands of times. After the storm had passed, I came down from the tree, in love with life, with nature, in love with that tree. That tree was so important to me. And I went home. And the next morning I woke up, and there was a really attractive lady that I liked a lot. But I could never stare at her in the eyes because I was afraid to stutter and embarrass myself. So better to avoid social contact than have social contact, even though I was really attracted to her. And she liked me, but I didn't know what to do with it, with that attention. And so she was walking past me, and she looked at me, and she said, "Good morning, Paul." And for the first time, I looked her straight in the eye, and I said, "Good morning, how are you?" And I stopped stuttering in one session.
There's so many things you can do with fungi, and this is what keeps us up at night. Fungi for food, medicine, textiles, fiber, packaging materials, even biofuel. Fungi just have this potential to unlock biological material that's a waste product in our civilization and convert it into something else. So that's what's exciting, and everyone's like scampering onto this bandwagon to try to catch up. I started as a grower, and I was out collecting edible mushrooms. That would be all I was interested in, the edibility.
That's the best
And
one.
all in the meantime, I'm focused on this one mushroom in the woods while I'm passing thousands, and I've got my blinders on. Now, all I'm interested in is all those little brackets and fungi. Whatever color. I have a lot of species of fungi here in the lab, and there's 1.5 million species plus of fungi on the planet.
Our theory is that when you have an infection and you're either not sure what the bacteria is, or you know that that bacteria is drug resistant, so we don't have a really perfect treatment, that you could take that bacteria, inoculate the mushroom, so put it on the mushroom would then sweat out these metabolites, and those metabolites would basically be able to kill that bacteria. So it's like a personalized antibiotic production system for your infection. Knowing the problems we have with antimicrobial resistance, something like this that's coming out of a different perspective and saying, look, let's take advantage of what the natural world can already do.
The amount of potential solutions that we have for fungi are tremendous. You open one door, there's 10 doors. Then you open up that one and it's 100. And all these have not been explored yet. This is just the beginning.
The health benefits of certain mushrooms are quite mind-blowing. So if you have a very specific health problem, you'll know exactly what to take. And fungi is very interesting because there's more related DNA-wise to a fungus than there is to plants. In other words, like plants have photosynthesis, so they actually breathe in CO2 and they make oxygen. Well, mushrooms, which is a type of fungus, don't do that. They breathe in oxygen and release CO2, very similar to humans. They actually share 50% of their DNA, which basically means they have certain blueprints that make certain chemicals that we can use for the benefit of our own health. Fungi is the largest and oldest organism on planet Earth.
Our society has been in a mental health crisis, and it's been stagnating. A large portion of people treat it with traditional antidepressants don't see benefit. Psychedelics are the only drug class that I know of where you have not just one or two, but lots of stories of people saying they took this thing one time and they say it had this profound impact on the course of their entire life. The research that's happening now, a lot of it is exploring medical applications. These are all drugs that can have a profound effect on one's sense of reality, including one's sense of self. I think kind of the only bet you can make is that if you have the dose high enough, something really interesting is going to happen. Compared to other drug classes, psychedelics are really robustly safe at the physiological level. People are reminded about this power they have to choose their own destiny. Some people come out of these sessions as participants and say that, one 6-hour experience with psilocybin is like 1,000 hours of therapy. I think they're just poised to really help us to understand the nature of psychiatric disorders.